Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom. Giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the Creator, the Maker of heaven and earth. When I am speaking of the Creator, I'm speaking of the one who sees all and is not seen, the one who judges all and is not judged. And brothers and sisters, in light of that, is this presentation presented to you all. This is not the regular presentation that a brother does, and that is not based per se on history, or it's not based per se, brothers and sisters, on linguistics or so forth. Brothers and sisters, what this is based on is something that happened earlier in the day, brothers and sisters. And what do I mean by that for reference purposes? Is this. We are on the platform Mora Yeshaya History Lessons and Mora Yeshaya History Lessons, as well as the Facebook page or Facebook profile, Yeshaya Author Danite, as well as Yeshaya Historian Danite, brothers and sisters. And what we want to, brothers and sisters, point out for reference purposes is this, is that as I have been stating for quite some time, brothers and sisters, I, not trying to play sympathy, if we will, and what you would call motherless. That is to say, I have no parents. My father passed when I was 14, and my mother passed when I was 24. Well, earlier today, brothers and sisters, I thought it would be a good idea to go, knowing where essentially my mother is buried, to go over there and to, for what some may say, pay respects, if you will. Some people may not agree with such, however, it is something that I chose to do for my own spirit in this particular case. I invited essentially nobody with me because I wanted to go on my own in this particular matter, if we will. And so, brothers and sisters, in going into this particular matter, if we will, hoping again and praying that everybody is well and will be better. We ask you all to comment, like, share, and subscribe, brothers and sisters, to the platform, to the channel. All right? And shalom, my brother Yirmiyahu. And what we're going to get into, brothers and sisters, in this particular case is to bring this out to the masses as for the people. So I'm going to ask if I can be heard well, and if people are in good spirits, please type in the number 4. If I can be heard well and people are in good spirits, I'm asking you, please type in the number 4 for reference purposes. Thank you for that, family. Thank you for that, my brother. I, not too long ago, decided to take a trip and leave the city for a couple of hours out of the day, if we will, family, in that particular case. All right. And in doing so, what wound up happening was a brother began to sit there and see certain things. And what I mean by certain things, brothers and sisters, is this. Nothing per se negative, if we will, but as I go through here, I want to sit there and make the Facebook things in order to sit there and show it for a public matter. So bear with me for that in that particular case. Thank you for that, family. All right. We're going to go into that. All right. And what do we care, brothers and sisters, to point out? Anybody who misses or lost someone as close as that kind of matter perhaps can understand where one is coming from. All right. So in this, I explain my position and my place in this kind of matter. All right. And let us, if we will, without any further ado, family, sit there and pull up the PowerPoint, if we will, for edification purposes. Thank you for that. All right. We're going to go to the present share screen, if you will, over here. Pull this up. Thank you for that, family. If we will. All right. Hoping again that everybody is well and in good spirits. All righty. Now, this kind of matter, brothers and sisters, is not to sit there and sadden no one or anything in that particular case, but more so an enlightenment matter, if we will. All right. So, without again any further ado, let us get into this for reference purposes. Thank you for that, family. All right, let me pull this up. We call this one here, My Spirit After Going to a Cemetery. All right, thank you for that, family. In this particular case, let us go to the slideshow from the beginning aspect there and go and say, giving honor to the Most High. Shalom. Thank you for joining the platform. This video is different than other videos in that it is not about history or linguistics, but is about a matter from the spirit of something that occurred earlier. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for that. The dead praise not Yah, neither any that go down into silence. Now, while some Israelites have actually debated whether or not one can sit there and live forever, one of the things that was stated is that as a people or as people, you are born and you die. There's a time to be born and a time to die. So what do we want to do while we are alive is leave a good name and a good memory, brothers and sisters. Those things are very, very important for reference purposes. That's not something to take lightly and so forth. To give an example, my mother, she passed away, for those who do know or been hearing or know from hearing, in 2004. I can state that there were friends that I had prior to my mother's death that heard about my mother's death years later and was like, oh, wow, sorry to hear that. The person was a nice person, because that is the memory and the legacy that was left. You understand? And so these things, again, are things we care to point out for reference purposes. Everybody may not care, and I say this in no disrespect, what kind of legacy or name that one leaves in this earth. But brothers and sisters, that is very, very important, because you are known by your name. You are known by such. For instance, in Hebrew, let me turn this down. For instance, in Hebrew, the Hebrew word for name and the Hebrew word for fame is shame. Some say sham. All right, some may say shem. But my point nonetheless is, brothers and sisters, that word meaning fame, name, or renown or famous is something that we have to sit there and know and understand. That's what you're famous for. So now when you get to the point of death, when it says right here, the dead praise not Yah, neither any that go down into silence. What are we pointing out? Is that people like my parents and people that are on the other side, if you will, they don't praise Yah. And it's not that if they were here, they would not. It means that while we have breath, we will extol our Maker. As we used to read in the prayers when I was a child, when my mother was among us, let young and old extol him together. Let the tribes of Israel come in near and testify that Yah is king and there is none else. So I remember, brothers and sisters, my mother conducting new moon services when we were living in Brooklyn. I remember my mother, may she rest in peace, conducting prayer services on the Sabbath. I remember her and I reading the Tanakh together and so forth and so on. Shalom, my brother Adonia. How you doing? All right. So these kind of things are things that you do not forget. So you definitely want to sit there and have that to hit home for reference purposes. It goes to say, the dead praise not Yah, neither any that go down into silence. When I was at the cemetery earlier, again, I went by myself. I didn't really invite anyone. I wanted to go alone on a human level in this. And that is, it's not trying to be funny. It's very silent. I took the train, asked the person in there where the grave in particular is at to confirm, because I like dealing in confirmations. I don't want to sit there and just wander all over and have no kind of understanding where one is going. And so things were confirmed, brothers and sisters, in that case. And as that was confirmed, so was it known, brothers and sisters, as stated here, neither any that go down into silence. Let's explain what we mean to in this. For those who can understand, earlier today, taking a day off from working, I decided to go to the cemetery. This was not a visit to evoke the dead or to do necromancy. This was to, in a way, have closure in a matter. Now, it's been almost, in my particular life, almost 20 years since my mother's left this earth. Now, I will get a little personal and state that the reason and the cause of her death was from the C disease, cancer. You understand, and so forth and so on. So, but one of the things I remember her telling me is the fact of about taking care of your health and things of that kind of nature. You understand? It's been almost in my life, she being gone from it as long as she's been in it. So, for those of us who have their mothers, their fathers, one parent or both, cherish that. All right. And this I care to address how I felt and what mood it had me put in. We ask you all to subscribe to the channel. Thank you, brothers and sisters. For those who can understand, I knew my mother for 24 years, and this year makes it 20 years since she was called home by the Most High. One of the things, her leaving this earth in April 2004, in the month of Abib, if we will, for those into the understanding of us as the house of Israel, is that the Most High took his daughter. See, once I understood that, it didn't lead me to breaking down, crying repetitively. Ever so often, I'm not going to lie, it does get hard and become emotional and things of that kind of nature and so forth and so on. You understand? But brothers and sisters, these are things we care to point out for reference purposes. In the timing of her raising me, I learned a lot and will forever cherish what I learned. Let's continue, brothers and sisters. A life-changing event. This is a book I wrote in honor of my mother's memory. This is available for those who are interested. The motivation and inspiration I was given from my mother will last a lifetime. Today, going to the cemetery was a life-changing event, and let me explain why I say such. Brothers and sisters, I want to sit there and do something that I normally do not do, brothers and sisters, and that is turn on the camera. In this particular case, I very rarely, for those who do know, ever put the camera on myself when doing a speech. I normally just have the camera off. But I would like to, brothers and sisters, get into this. And there's two reasons why I really like not to have the camera on. And it's kind of confirmed in the movie One Love with Bob Marley. Oh, Bob Marley's face is not seen. It's not about ego. I'd rather a person, whether a sister or elder, listen to the presentation that's presented as opposed to just, let me see the moray. You understand what I mean in that particular case. However, in this particular matter, I'm going to sit there and put the camera not focused on me, but on, and discuss this. I saw tombstones that had the date of 1997 to 2005 from birth to death. I saw tombstones that had the birth date 1988 to 2002. That humbled me. Seeing tombstones with dates that was after my birth, and I'm able to see that he or she did not live to a certain point in one's life. Next to, not to get too personal, where my mother is buried, a young man's picture is there. And the picture has his birth date ending the same year that my mother's last year was on this earth, and he was born after I was. While walking to the actual, what they will call plot or whatever like that, or land where the person may be buried, I saw pictures of little girls that were posted on the tombstones and things of that kind of nature. That to me, brothers and sisters, was a humbling experience. And this is why I call it my spirit after going to a cemetery, to know and understand that life is short. The same cemetery where my mother is buried, I didn't go to the other one where the other burial is at, but my cousin is buried in the same cemetery, brothers and sisters. And to sit there and take a cab or Uber and to sit there and be able to walk away from such, brothers and sisters, was a humbling experience. So what am I saying with certain things, not to get too personal in my life, is that there are things going on, brothers and sisters, that will sit there and make one want to sit there and acquiesce, if you will. Acquiesce to what, family? Acquiesce to things such as knowing that the Most High gives and takes. So what name are we leaving in this earth? Let me use an example of people that most of us may have heard of. Snoop Dogg is a rapper. Eazy-E was a rapper. Eazy-E is now deceased. There's an interview where Snoop Dogg speaks about not being able in a timely manner to apologize for the things that he said concerning Eazy-E. That he personally took on other people's situations with Eazy-E and tried to make it his own. He stated that he did not have enough time in order to sit there before Eazy-E passed away to sit there and make amends. So what does that tell us too, brothers and sisters, is while we have life and breath, make amends. If the person or people don't accept it, you know what you did, brother or sister. If you attempted to make amends and if it's not accepted, you did your portion. He or she doesn't have a spirit connected to the Most High to have it for forgiveness, but you know you did your portion. So before you wind up, and I hate to have to say it, in a situation, may Eazy-E rest in peace, or in a situation like the rapper Snoop Dogg, who has to sit there and eat for the rest of his life, perhaps, that he never apologized to somebody whom he offended. You don't want to be on either side of that, brothers and sisters, without making amends. So when somebody wants to make amends, accept it, because you only get one life in this earth. You understand? Whether reincarnation exists, there has not been, to correct me if I'm wrong, somebody coming back and say, you know what, I am reincarnated from this person. Nobody's come back and say that. My teachers in Israel used to teach me that the Most High takes your soul and then he puts it back in the earth. If that is the case, no one has come to me and stated my soul is from the soul of such and such at such and such timing. We might say we have the spirit of a person whom we admire, but to sit there and state that you know that the Most High took one soul and put it back in the earth in this person, who's to sit there and state? So while we do have the soul and the spirit and the life that we do have, we want to cherish it and respect it. We want to sit there and show the Most High that we have respect and honor for such, brothers and sisters. So, without any further ado, and giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the Creator, the maker of heaven and earth. Those are things that I just care to point out in this particular case. I want to state, if I pull this back up, and there's no disrespect intended, brothers and sisters, right? This particular book here, Hebrew is Easy, Volume 6, Conversations Among Family, was one of the easiest and most peaceful books that I've ever read. When I wrote Hebrews Easy Volume 1, it was kind of a crunch line to get something done by a certain date. Hebrews Easy Volume 2, it was how many people can help me and I help you. Hebrews Easy Volume 3 was, well, it was during the time of what they speak upon with the pandemic or so. So I had some time on my hands to sit there and type. Same with Hebrews Easy Volume 4, Hebrews Easy Volume 5. Those 3 books were written in the span of a month when I was staying in the South. And we also have, brothers and sisters, here, Hebrews Easy Volume 6, which was written sometime after that. And that was one of the easiest in spirit books to write of all the books that a brother has written. I don't know why that is, but I can assume, if I may, that in giving honor to one's own parents, that's where on a human level the honor first goes. There are things, brothers and sisters, that in my personal life that I wish, if I may say, that I would have done different even as a child. That I wish she would have seen me doing X, Y, and Z in life and so forth and so on. But brothers and sisters, I can't dwell on that and still grow. What am I pointing out? You can't in life sit there and regret and grow, because even if you have a parent that's of understanding, he or she would not want you to live a life in regret, because he or she knows that you can't grow that way. You understand? So for those who have been with me online and offline in my journey, may the Most High bless you. For those who have supported a brother, may the Most High bless you. And let me know how I can be of assistance to you as a brother, be you a brother or sister. And giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the Creator, the maker of heaven and earth. Thus ends this particular presentation. We hope and pray again that everybody is well and will be better. Shalom. Subscribe to the channel, comment, like, and share. Thank you.